delusion. But, and so the city's obviously like huge percentages. You're just like, who was born, and you can even get precise, and be like, who was born in, like, if I'm in Los Angeles, I'll be like, who was born in, LA? And they'll be almost like 90% of everyone's like, who was born here? And I'll be like, okay, so who was born in Silver Lake? And then you see it jump to 19%. That's any major city that you go to. But in the rural areas, it's a little bit more complicated because people just didn't grow up there, so they don't know what it's like. But there's one person who's called the memory. I don't know if you've heard of this. In every village, there's someone who is the memory. And so they remember what it was like to grow up in that region. And so people who move there later can go to the memory's house, have some tea, kind of download what was it about, what was it like, so on and so forth. So that's kind of a cool thing that I just discovered recently. As you guys know, art is great. It's important, and it's not separate from anything. It just is everything. The same thing with science. Science is everything. And so art and science technically are everything. It encapsulates pretty much everything that we do in life. I know that we like to, well, not we, I don't think we like this, but I don't think we think this, but people, they love to what are you into art? Cool. Like it's a thing, like a bubble that exists in space. It's like, are you into this thing over here? But we all know that art is just everything, right? So for me, I grew up being fascinated by anything that existed, and it was a terrible habit. And it slowed me down, made me late for a lot of shit. Oh shit, I didn't know how'd they get this to bend perfectly without warping the hexagonal shape? Oh shit, alright, I'll come along. You realize art is everything, and engineering and science and all that is also in everything. So everything in life is ultimately infinitely interesting, as what I discovered. So even when I'm, let's say you're going somewhere, okay? And you take your shoe and you start putting it on, but then do you ever stop and you go like, why is it this way? Why do they make the laces? Why are they this thick? And I get the tip part so you can get it through, but why is it woven and made in the tongue? Some of them are there's a tongue, there's webbing there, I guess, to stop rocks from getting in there, which is a pretty good idea. We'll have to do that for all shoes, just make that standard, since that's something nice that you could just do and, have it, not need it, instead of need it, not have it. Try that. And, or when you're making toast, you're someone made this thing because they love toasted bread, right? But more importantly, they like it evenly toasted on both sides, which is insane to me, because that feels impossible. And yet, we live in an age where we can just casually and nonchalantly just go this is make some toast, and just walk away confidently. That's crazy to live in an age like that. Think about people in 1903 who are just if I could just, I don't know why I'm talking like that, but if I could just get myself some toast, I was toasted on both sides, boy, that would help out a lot. Flash forward to 2022, where we're at now, and oh, you want some toast? Good. Got all kinds of toasters now, ones that auto toast, just set it in there. You play a game to see how light you can not trigger it. But put your toast in there. It's not toast, it's bread. You put your bread in there, but it's going to be toast soon. Just set it in there and it goes, and it goes, and then there's sensors going on, moisture, evaporation, crispy content, golden level. And then you're I'm gonna turn it up a little bit because I know this toaster. I don't even know your toaster. I know it. I know this toaster. This toaster and I, we know each other. It asked me to change its filaments a long time ago, but I didn't care. Maybe that's where we are today. That's why I have to crank it up so high. Sometimes I have to do it again. But then I'll lower the intensity by half. And that equals a whole toasting session to the point which I enjoy it, which is a golden brown texture just before it gets a little too dark, because you want structure to bread. You know, you don't want to be like trying to spread some hard butter. Also, hard butter, that sucks. No one likes hard butter. A nice piece of toast with some hard butter, like, you know, so then I end up having to, you know, micro slice the butter in time before the toast cools, because you want to get that intensity, that heat, to be able to help with that hard butter. Now, another technique you can use is taking the stick, unwrapping it a bit, just revealing the tip, and you just marker it on up, like a graffiti artist. It's like, yeah, all right. You know, and for me, I like every part of the surface of that toast butter. I don't like some areas not buttered. I don't get that. I think that's lazy, and I think it's dangerous. Just butter the whole thing. It's going to be real nice. You're going to be real happy about it. And if you did it at the right toasting level, still going to get a good amount of structure, right? Structure and crisp get in there. Thickness of toast or bread. I'm going to say not too thick, but not too thin either, because again, you want that structure. You want enough structure when you take it out and it's toasted that it feels confident in hand, and you can pass it to someone confidently as well. That's the true taste. Like, here, would you like some? I don't know how many times I've been like, here, would you like some with some inferior bread? And then as I'm passing it, it just turns into dust. So you gotta be careful. Some of you guys are on keto, okay? Keto diet, ketogenic. You can get toast, but it's a different kind of toast in it. It's got 6 grams of fiber per slice, which is insane, but I love it. All I'm saying is just be careful with the types of bread that you choose to toast. And I know I didn't want to break it down, I didn't want to make it sound serious. I didn't want to use the voice of someone that I grew up with who talked like that all the time, but sometimes I feel like it's the only way to really get it across. Anyways, I love film.